Let's not kid ourselves. We have earnings on August 7th, and all eyes, ears, and attention is on Palantir's forward-moving statement, their projections of what's about to come. Why? Although Palantir Foundry, Palantir Gotham, Palantir Apollo, Palantir Edge, Palantir Meta Constellation, everything so on and so forth for Palantir is extremely lucrative and absolutely groundbreaking. In reality, all people care about right now is AIP, the artificial intelligence platform of Palantir. All I can do is tell you this. Palantir AIP is in fact being used by customers. Just recently, it was announced that JD Power is using AIP to build a fantastic new platform. I'm going to read you the publication in just a moment. Besides for that, JD Power actually had a demo presentation during AIPCon around 2 months ago. I'm going to play you that 15-minute presentation. I saw it live. It's absolutely phenomenal. It was absolutely groundbreaking to see what they could do in just 3 weeks using AIP. If you're unfamiliar with JD Power, they've been around since 1968. That is an extremely long time. They have a lot of experience and they are a trusted name in the United States. They're a trusted name worldwide. And what does JD Power do exactly? JD Power is a data analytics firm using integration and artificial intelligence. So it only makes sense that JD Power is looking for the strongest artificial intelligence platform to be stacked and paired with Palantir Foundry. I'm going to read you the news publication right now, and all I could do from my point of view, all I could do as a promoter, all I could do as a YouTuber, all I could do as an entertainer and educator, because I am not a financial advisor, nor am I qualified to be, nor am I giving financial advice, nor would I ever give you financial advice. And you're a complete dumbass if you listen to a YouTuber for financial advice. We are here just so you do your own due diligence, do your own research. But what I could do is showcase and put a spotlight on presentations like this, break it down a little bit more than most people are going to be doing, and give you the publications as they come out. So let's read this publication and then let's go right into this 15-minute demo so you understand exactly how powerful Palantir AIP is. I, for one, am looking forward to earnings, not specifically the earnings themselves, because to be honest with you, I'm scared shitless that we will not perform, although I don't want the bad juju here, so I hope that they do perform. But we have really big shoes to fill right now at this valuation of around $16.50 a share, $18 a share, even $15 a share, right? We ran up nearly 150%, 170%, I don't know, some crazy numbers over the last couple of months. I'm not saying Palantir can't do it. I'm not saying Palantir cannot do it. I'm just frightened as all heck, as I'm sure a lot of people are. Or shall I use the word anxious instead of frightened? But most importantly than this earnings, which we should be knocking out of the park, hopefully, please, I am more excited for forward-moving projections, because in order to have AIP, you need to have foundries. So it's kind of like a second base hit every single customer that we have. There's so many amazing things that are happening with Palantir. This is just one aspect of Palantir. But again, all eyes and ears are on this AIP. As Dr. Karp said, we have more interest in 1 month for AIP than we have an entire year of interest for Palantir Foundry. And that means something. That is something. So either he's an absolute liar, which I don't believe it, or in actuality, this is what's happening. Now, the only question is, do we have the sales team? Do we have the marketing? Do we have the public relations to actually sell this product if it does not sell itself? Without further ado, let's get right into this article. JD Power teams up with Palantir to create a unique solutions for the automotive industry. First of its kind, collaboration integrates JD Power's proprietary database with Palantir Foundry and artificial intelligence platform AIP to create a new analytics product. Automotive OEMs will also be able to confidently combine their data with JD Power's data to develop deeper insights. In an industry-first collaboration that is intended to transform the way Automakers, dealers, insurers, and financing companies leverage data-driven insights. J.D. Power, a data and analytics company that analyzes more than 20 million vehicle transactions per year and has collected billions of vehicle configurations and performance data points, today announced a collaboration with Palantir Technologies. And I quote, J.D. Power sets itself apart as a pioneer in data-driven intelligence and delivering lasting value for its customers. Guys, this is no small feat. 20 million vehicle transactions per year. Billions of collected vehicle configurations and data points. That's absolutely insane, guys. This ain't Snowflake. This ain't Databricks. This ain't Datadog. This ain't anything you heard of. Palantir is the only company that can process billions of data points, and it proves it time in, time out. And for all the people that say other companies can do it, why are they not named working with the biggest, baddest platforms in the US military, or reconstructing Ukraine, or actually giving a usable demo for their artificial intelligence platform? Because they don't have it. They're partnering up. They are buying up companies. They are producing PowerPoints and Excel sheets. But the one thing that they lack is actual substance, in actuality, not in theoretical what can happen in the future. They'll see you in 5 years, while Palantir is going to be 5 years ahead after 5 years, which they're already ahead today. So while you're doing and worrying about today, Palantir has already done 5 years ago. And that's the huge difference here. And I quote, this breakthrough collaboration will fundamentally transform the way the auto industry analyzes its performance and optimizes its go-to-market strategy and product offering by pairing the world's largest, most robust automotive database with the most powerful analytic platforms. As a result of our work with Palantir, our clients are now able to create unique insights, which was previously impossible. And this is what they're going to be doing. Additional solutions already developed leveraging J.D. Power data on Palantir Foundry includes the following: repair analytics, intelligent alerts, EV battery health analysis, and digital journey optimization. You guys can read the article all on your own. This is just becoming a very, very long video. And I quote, the automotive industry is at a crucial inflection point as AI and other forces continue to transform the industry, said Dr. Alex Karp, co-founder and CEO of Palantir. And I quote, J.D. Power sets itself apart as a pioneer in data-driven intelligence and delivering lasting value for its customers. Guys, it's absolutely inspirational when you have a huge company that's been around for over 50 years talking about a brand new partnership in its field with Palantir. When I hear tens of millions and billions of data points and the word Palantir, honestly, it gets me kind of excited. You know what I mean? And hopefully in the next earnings, the stock price and the chart is going to get excited. You know what I mean? Before I go into the video, I wanted to say I do have channel membership. I am promoting the shit out of myself. Channel membership is $3 a month. You get to buy me a cup of coffee and you get to support the channel in general. I promise you I put out a shit ton of content. Just ask any of my channel members. I probably put out 2 pieces of additional content every single week just for my channel members. YouTube takes $1. I get to keep $2 and that buys me a coffee a day. If you guys don't want to support the channel with channel membership, that's okay. Although I think that you guys are definitely going to get a $3 value out of that. Please feel free to click on my Twitter down below. And while you're there, also click on Jesse Dow's Twitter down below, who's an absolute assassin, a sniper, a freaking alien when it comes to stock picking and absolutely destroying, crushing the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, so on and so forth with his options plays. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of this 15-minute clip from J.D. Power doing an actual AIP demo from AIP Con. I'm going to see you guys at 2 o'clock live for Jerome Powell and the FOMC meeting. And there's going to be another AIP Con in the mid-September. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hello. This works. Awesome. So I'm going to give you a little bit of show and tell of the things that we're doing with AIP and LLMs. Before that, a little introduction. I think you know J.D. Power because we give awards to cars. We do benchmarking. We talk to a bunch of millions of customers of mostly OEMs. And then we give awards. So you've probably seen commercials on maybe the Super Bowl. So that's the SUV of the year or the best experience on a luxury car. So that's us. But in reality, that's a very small part of our business. Most of our business is around data analytics. So what we've done over the last few years is to build and aggregate data sets that in a way define the inner workings of the auto industry. Which is a $1 trillion industry. This is a big, big industry. So we understand what cars can be built, what cars are actually built, where are they sent, what cars are sitting in parking lots in the dealers, when are they sold, the price they're sold at, what incentives are applied, demographics of who buy those cars, the problems the cars have when they're repaired, warranties, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a complete view of the car industry. And we spent many years doing things with these data sets. We do some machine learning models, very domain-specific models, traditional models. And we decided about a year ago that we're going to get into AI with more conviction. And particularly this year, we've been driving to become an AI-first company. So we're happy to partner with Palantir. I think the last slide about iterating with a partner you trust is very relevant to us because we've been learning a lot over the last 5-6 months. We actually been working together for about 5 or 6 months. So why now? This works? Okay, great. So what we've seen over the last few months is that even my mother asked me about ChatGPT, correct? So there's a big step in innovation in AI, correct? Things are becoming, in a way, commoditized. If you go to sites like Hugging Face, there are hundreds of thousands of open source models there to be leveraged. Many LLMs, some regression models, classification models. Some models have been downloaded tens of millions of times. So now the secret sauce of AI is not on the models that you can build, but how do you apply them to the data that you have? And as you will see, how you deploy them into applications that can actually move the needle. And again, we have consolidated these data sets. We have bought many companies over the last 4 years because we wanted those data sets to come into the fold, correct? So we bought companies that have inventory data, for example. 6 months ago, we bought a company that had data around EVs. So now we have all this data, and we say, awesome, with all this data, and then with AI, with LLMs, what can we do? And as we look at the industry, a $1 trillion industry, it becomes a very exciting and open field opportunity. Our job with Palantir is not to necessarily focus on efficiencies internally, but actually build solutions that move the needle in the auto industry. Those are our main clients, correct? So it's a $1 trillion industry. Any problem that we solve is a big problem to be solved. So you can think about problems like when you buy a car, correct? And you try to figure out what is the car that you want, that you need, where can I find it, what is the right price? That's for a consumer a big problem. Dealers have to figure out what car should I order? How should I price them, correct? And OEMs have a lot of challenges and opportunities ahead, correct? What car should I design? Which ones should I actually build? Where should I send them in the US? What should be the right price? The incentives. And are my cars breaking? What are the problems in repairs? In repairs, for example, in warranty, there's about a $7 billion spent today in the auto industry just to manage warranties. Can we move the needle on a $7 billion line, for example? So what we're trying to figure out, we're trying to experiment with Palantir is how can we use AIP? And again, when I say we're trying, we started 4 or 5 weeks ago when the launch, correct? So it's impressive how much we have done, and I'll show you a little bit where we are. But what type of problems can AI help us solve, particularly LLMs? So let's start with the problem statement that I started at the beginning, correct? I want to buy a car, and I want an AI to help me buy a car. So the first you can think about is something like this, correct? I want to buy my first plug-in hybrid. I currently have a small SUV, and I think it's the right car for me and my family. What models can you recommend to me? So you can think also, I love AI, I'm going to go to ChatGPT and ask him this question, correct? But unfortunately, if you go to ChatGPT and you ask them, hey, when were you last trained? It will tell you that it was trained in September 2021. So how can a machine, an AI that was trained so long ago, help me buy a car now? And if you look at the industry, there are a lot of things that have happened in those 600 days, from the time that ChatGPT was trained, correct? 600 new models were launched in the industry. 1.5 different car configurations were made. 1.2 million cars in inventory are in each day in the dealers, but 1.1 are sold on the average. And that's actually getting now higher that we're getting away from COVID. And there's about a $2.4 billion a month spent in incentive. So how can an AI that was trained 600 days ago help you understand what is the right choice for you now, correct? So we're trying to figure out that. What we're doing now with LLMs, what we've done for the last few weeks, is try to determine how can we take the best that an LLM can offer and map it with the data that we have that is real-time, high-quality data. So I'm going to show you, So we asked ChatGPT for the question that I showed you about the plug-in hybrid, and they gave me some models that were actually 2021 models, obviously, because it was trained that way. But at the end, it said, additionally, checking with local dealerships or visiting manufacturer websites will provide you with the most up-to-date information on the latest plug-in hybrid models available. Great, because that's the only thing you can say, correct? Can we do better with that data? So I'm going to show you a demo. Let's not start it yet. And a couple of things before the start, okay? One, this is not a consumer-facing application. This is an application that we're building for us to prepare and build that consumer-facing application. That's going to be in our site, and it's going to be in the site of some of the OEMs, correct? So what we're learning now is the interface, but most importantly, how do we tell the LLM how to, quote-unquote, behave? How do we put all these things together, correct? And I'll give you some of the lessons that we have learned over the last few weeks. And then second, what is important to us is to understand that the dialogue that a person has with an LLM can go in many, many different ways and can go very deep or very shallow, correct? I'm going to show you here just a couple of questions that a user might have, but then we can talk about what's happening in the background and how we can how that conversation can be extended to many other use cases. Okay, so let's start the demo. Cool. So we start a session. We call this session Family Car. And the user types basically the question that I talked to you about in the first slide, correct? Which is, I want to buy a hybrid. Can you help me out, correct? So this goes to an LLM. The LLM takes and understands what the question is about. And then the LLM says, okay, I'm going to look at J.D. Power's data, and I'm going to find the best answer for this question, correct? So the LLM takes that and gives that to the application, and it says, okay, these are the cars that I found on the J.D. Power data that I think you will appreciate, or that would be good for you. But then there's an additional question. Hey, I like this feature that keeps me in the same lane. This is customer language, not technical language. And actually, I don't want to spend that much money. So the LLM takes that, tries to understand the message, goes back to the J.D. Power data and say, okay, here you go. Here are 3 potential models that you can take a look at. And by the way, here are the trims, which are specific trims for those models. The customer can select a couple of things that they like, and then we tell the LLM, awesome, here are the 2 things that I want you to compare, LLM, and he goes and say, here you go. So those things that are written there, if you look at it, are basically the reasons why the LLM recommends one or the other. This text is written by the LLM, correct? And you see things like, okay, I got you, it's lane keep and assist, it's great for your family. On the other side, there's a bunch of features that you might like, but it's pretty expensive. You told me you were not, you need to watch your budget, et cetera, et cetera. And then we tell the LLM, please give me a list of the features that you think are relevant on these 2 cars, correct? Let's find a car. LLM, help us find a car. So LLM goes to inventories and shows you where the cars are. And then just to select the one that you're going to go. This one is a bunch of miles away, but apparently, potentially, is the best car you have available. And then there you go, right? You find your car, et cetera. Again, short conversation, but just keep in mind that the LLM is driving all this. And I'm going to give you a quick look at what does it mean. So I told you this is an internal application. So as you train the LLM, you might tell them things. Like, for example, great, but when you show a car, also show the model year. Or you could say also show the payment, the monthly payment, because people don't understand MSRP very well. Show the monthly payment. So Okay, so what's happening in the background? Very quickly. I don't know if you guys work in Foundry or not, but basically here we have the yellow, which is the interface with the customer, where the chat happens. The green things are what makes it possible, the interaction between the LLM on all the parts of the applications. The ontology is in the middle. This is where data is, the data that we think is relevant for this use case, and then the applications on the other side, correct? The beauty of having Foundry and AIP is that you can build this really, really quickly, really quickly. So we build this in a matter of days and iterate in a couple of weeks. Now, the cool thing is then, obviously we're connecting all these systems, but what about the LLM? How do we tell the LLM how to quote unquote behave? So you do that through prompt engineering, and that also AIP allows you to build that into the system. So this is actually what we tell the LLM to behave like, to do. So you are an AI assistant that provides guidance on someone looking to buy a vehicle. This is an actual instruction. You are friendly and helpful. This is an actual instruction. It's kind of crazy, no? Et cetera, et cetera. So that's the first one. The second one is use only the information of vehicles from JSON, which is the Jetty Power basically data, correct? But make inferences about what the customer may want based on your query. This is actually what we typed as a prompt to build the application. So on the last one, we're telling ChatGPT, we're telling them, when somebody wants to compare vehicles, don't go crazy and go back to 2021 and find some stuff. Don't do that. Just focus on the Jetty Power data, correct? So there are more things that are happening here. We're telling them, for example, data on EVs. So if you can get, we will tell the LLM, if you can get a zip code from ask for a zip code, and you can check how much snow falls in that zip code. If there's a lot of snow, think about all-wheel drive and the clearance of the vehicle. If you have a zip code, you can know the price of electricity and the price of gas. And you can give me a total cost of ownership comparison between a plug-in hybrid and none. Also miles, for example, you drive a day, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very compelling. The beauty of the system, again, is that on the top you see some of the stuff that we're doing in Palantir. We have several applications. Some of the applications are out in our clients already. We basically have data flowing all the way to an ontology, and then applications feeding that ontology. One of those applications, for example, it's an application around repair analytics to understand warranty costs and optimize warranty costs. So what we're doing now is an application using LLMs that will take verbatims from repair. Every time a car is repaired, the technician in the dealer writes, this is what the customer told me, and this is what I found and how I repaired it. So you have hundreds of thousands of those, millions of those. So if you're a system engineer trying to focus on how to minimize warranty, you want to understand root cause. Why is this failing? At what speeds? At what temperature? What are the behaviors? So we're building an LLM, an application that is powered by LLM that will allow us to do this. And this is really real. I mean, we present this to a client in 2 weeks. And if we get it right, once we're convinced that it's right, we'll deploy as an application to our clients. Few things that are really critical for us, like the slide that the previous talked about is speed. We need to be able to do this fast. We need to be able to not only take things to market pretty fast, but learn really fast. And the iteration cycles here are not measured in months or weeks or days. This is about every hour we're learning things about how do we train LLMs and how do we understand how do they behave and how to leverage their insights, et cetera. Extensibility, we need to connect every single application, every single model that we have in our platform to an LLM-driven experience. And the last two are completely fundamental for us. We have our data is our IP, is the value of our company. The data that our customers put in our systems is absolutely critical. So this has to be bulletproof. It has to be very secured, and privacy and governance are a really must for us. Finally, the road ahead. The first one, we have done this for a few years. So we bring data, analytics, and we do domain-specific models. Now we're leveraging LLMs to integrate into Jetty Power data and also bring all the models to provide new experiences. We've been working on that, and we're actually releasing applications in a couple of weeks. And ultimately, what we're thinking the challenge is, how do we build intelligence that actually understands the auto industry and can tackle fundamental questions? And that is combining LLMs with domain-specific models. And we're even arguing, should we train our own LLM to be able to be more nuanced about the discussions that we have in the auto industry. So running out of time, I want to thank the Palantir team, great partners. Taylor, Suzanne, Jan, Barry, all those guys have done amazing work. A lot of respect and appreciation for the work, and looking forward to the next few months. Thanks a lot.